more concerned about getting things done. And I don't know whether you've got it so much. Yeah. When you've been in charge of it, you feel a lot more responsibility for the group, and therefore it's not quite just such a let's have fun, let's come together. It's like, no, we are actually here to do a performance, and we need to get the job done.
And you have to deliver.
Even sometimes when I'm giving the key and then people are just not getting the key, and you realize
during performance.
Yeah, you realize many times I say, "Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?" You realize I do that because I realize I need everybody here.
But I don't feel like that. That didn't happen the other day. Right?
Did it?
At the town hall performance.
I find most performances at some point I do get
you call people for attention. You just need attention.
Next question.
Not attention. People should be listening to you, but you want us to deliver. Hey guys, we are delivering this thing.
Do you enjoy the performances? Like, are you worried during the performance?
So you're sending it to me again?
No, all right.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, you just said that like you get worried beforehand. Do you end up enjoying the performance, or are you also like, are people paying attention? Are you like that during the performance?
I'm not like on edge, just like, oh dear. More just like
you hope
occasional annoyance. Yeah, awareness.
During performance?
Sometimes annoyance. Not too much. Often it's more in practice beforehand. Yeah.
I think that one of the things with performances is that when you communicate, you can't do that verbally. So you kind of have to all be aware of each other, not just for tuning and things like that, but you just kind of have
dancing.
For dancing, just for how you act and how you, just everything. You kind of have to do that without speaking, and that's one of the things that I think puts you under. It's not so much pressure as intention. It's just more like focused.
Yeah.
So you're kind of paying more attention to each other.
Rather than saying, right now everyone listen, you're kind of...
Actually, during performances, there is a development of the level of communication besides the verbal communication, where you end up using a lot of signs, facial expression, you end up, even sometimes just looking, you say something without, and the other one just understands without actually saying it in words. So there's a development of mode of communication which enhances the performance itself. So I can't pin it to tension.
Yeah.
For me, it feels more relaxed. It doesn't feel like a tension at all. I feel like I can sort of relax within the group. Like when we're as a group together during a performance, when we're as a group together, because we're sort of working as one unit. I don't have to so much think about myself. It's more like I'm part of a whole.
I know what you mean. Yeah. But because we do it in the round, because we sit in this sort of shape, I always feel that during a performance, I feel like I'm less connected to the sound of it. Like maybe in like a physical kind of way, that you would be more aware of the rest of the choir. But I find it very odd that I can't hear the other parts anymore.
I think you have, or at least I have to pay a lot more attention to what everyone else is likely to be hearing. Yeah. Like from audience to Peter, to different voice parts, and I'm constantly trying to be aware of everyone else in the room, basically.
That was a particular thing, was it with Kembo?
Kembo,
the other day, because I think the key changed slightly, but not everyone could hear you.
Yeah, I moved in the high key and...
but only half of us heard. Yeah. So I was trying to figure out which way the majority was going.
You said that everyone went up with no problem.
No, there is a place I sang. I after playing drums, I came back to Kembo, and then it was a bit high. And some people got it, some people couldn't. Yeah. So there was just that not singing, not responding again. Then playing. Then I came on a higher key, on a lower key, and everybody just came in nicely. You see. So there was that as a form of I don't know whether I said anything or I nodded. I don't remember.
I think.
Do you think that would have happened during the practice?
People would have stopped and would have talked. Yeah. But then that if it was tense, that's when it would have been very tense.
I didn't even notice how
You know,
bad
people
that.
didn't notice.
Yeah,
I think it really does come from having to think more about, like, I don't know whether just being president particularly, but also just generally working on music stuff a lot more with Peter.
Yeah.
Like the very intricacies. Once you know a number of different voice parts for things, and you know the drumming as well, and you're aware of them all going together, you can't just sort of disappear into your own one quite so much. Was perhaps what you were talking about.
Yeah, I can quite disappear. I don't really worry about the other parts.
It becomes very hard to do that once you know the other stuff going on.
Ignorance is bliss, I do think. I do think in that case, because I don't worry about...
What kinds of things do you want to convey in a performance? Because, of course, you might have all these internal things going on. What? Yeah?
Just the fact that you're all enjoying yourself.
And you don't get that as much with other choirs, right? They don't project
They
this
don't
idea of
express
having
themselves.
fun.
It's more about technicality, but I don't think that we're particularly lacking in technicality because that's not what we're concentrating on. It just, yeah.
Yeah, because what happens is eventually you find what I would have spent more time trying to get. When I teach the group during performance, what I would have struggled to get, making the group very serious, you find now it comes with the ease. Like, you know, now in a performance I would have been warming up people's voices and, you know, do you have the songs here ready? Yeah, this note, giving you the... No, have you gotten it? That would have added more tension. But then let it go easily to enable people just let it flow. It makes it much easier. I use less energy. Yeah. So, in some way, even the technical things, people get them without noticing. Or rather, they get... In fact, sometimes in a performance, people can sing something. Then when I come out to tell them, can you try and sing this voice part? They get lost. Because they, you know, they are not tense on this note. You know, like they are not tense on the key, this note. No. They just, let's sing. Okay. And then it comes out just exactly the way I would have trained another choir, very serious.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would have used a lot of energy.
But you have done that. Have you done like a more formal teaching?
Yeah, I'm a choir master.
Yeah, but I just wondered whether that was like you did this all the time, or whether like...
No, in Kenya I do differently.
You do it differently.
Oh.
In South Africa,
Are you less Kenyan in Kenya?
In South Africa I was doing it differently.
How differently?
Yeah, in South Africa it depends the team. Like we have to teach the voice, warm up, do the, you know, all this, get the notes right. But then here you just let it go and people get it.
Has anyone else been in a choir before?
Yeah.
How many people? Can I get a show of hands? 1, 2,
5.
About 5, 6.
6. Yeah. 6 out of how many here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good, I can't remember. 12. It's about half the group.
How many? 6 out of about 12.
12, yeah. Does anyone meet up with anyone in this group outside of practice time? How many of you like meet up?
What kind of things do you like do
Yeah,
together?
what do you do?
Go
That's
shopping
everyone.
or like get a coffee?
For the
Or...
record.
Everyone. Yeah, oh yeah.
Is it in like large groups or have you got like
This
specific
isn't...
best friends in here?
Yeah,
We
and
do
there
all
are
sorts of
pre-existing social things going on.
It's quite interesting actually, because when I first joined 2.5 years ago, it had only just become a uni society, so it was basically one big group of friends from Chad's, which was really nice to come into, but I still felt slightly on the outside with that one. But over the last couple of years, it's merged a lot more to be just general people from lots of different conversations.
No props, Jace.
Well, it is pretty mixed, right? Is it still
No,
more
it
lady
is,
than it is?
I don't
No,
think it's really
mixed.
anything.
It's mixed. It's a good mix. Because at first, before it was Chad's Jones, and then it became Chad's Chad's. When you were coming in, it was more of Chad's. Then now we have.
Yeah, now it's like...
So
During your
that's
time
cool.
as a president, it's
Why?
Yeah.
Just because...
Mainly because what happened was it literally I think just before I started uni, it had been ratified as a uni society.
Yeah.
And it was completely Chad for it was a Chad society, and it was basically one group of friends in 2 years above me, and then a few people from your year.
Yeah, it was like third years and second years.
Yeah. And then when they all graduated, we were basically left with a handful of,
Yeah, very
well,
good.
I think that one was you and Nadia.
Oh, yeah.
They're only
And that's
two
like it,
of-
then me, and then a few
Maggie,
other,
yeah.
a few other people. So there was only like
Picked it up
6 of
from-
us at one point at the start of the year.
Oh, yes, it's, I thought
And
it
then
was-
we had to go to Freshers Fair, and because that's open to everyone, we just recruited people from all over.
Did you get a lot?
because it was just
Mixed.
it
It's
was
been
just,
getting bigger since that point. Like this is the biggest it
This
has
year.
been. It's been basically a steady trajectory upwards.
and you know when it was Chad's, the place where we could only do the freshers fair was in Chad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know when it was ratified.
It was.
Then we could do
The
that
DSU.
in the DSU and Chad's and other places. Yeah.
So when you say like you meet up with each other outside, are you meeting up with pre-existing friends that like maybe encouraged you to come here in the first place, or is it like new people that you've met while you've been here?
People you've met, yeah.
New people.
People have met, yeah. And in the case of Joe, I wasn't friends with you really when we started going. Where was I
No.
really?
Yeah. Even
So-
though we lived in the same.
Even though
flat.
we lived in the same flat, yeah.
Where did you all start coming then? If you kind of like.
I came from a mutual friend of ours.
Who came through a friend, like mutual friend, who was already here?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, if you didn't come through a friend, how did you find out about it?
Yeah.
Freshers.
Freshers Fair.
Freshers Fair.
Uni handbook, because Chad's advertised itself as having, this was probably before it got ratified, as having its own drumming group. And this is the thing, it specified it was a drumming group, and having played drums at school I was like, yes, definitely it's African drumming. So I went along, and then it was great to find out that we sing as well, because then I never used to sing in school, so something new. And then new people outside the Chad's group.
How many people through freshers again? Just so I can see. 1, 2. Thank you.
So if you sign up through freshers, did you sign up for like loads of different societies, or kind of just African drumming, and what really attracted you about African drumming above the others?
It was loads, and just because it was very good when I came along, and because Peter, a very persuasive man.
But what made you come along in the first place? Like, what was it about going to the
Quite
stand?
into world music at that point.
Yeah.
He's an anthropologist, right?
I wanted to meet another African because I hadn't met an African in the first term. So Refreshers Fair this term I signed up, and yeah, I met Aggie, who's also from Malawi, which is cool.
Yeah, I also signed up because I live in Sierra Leone, so like when I saw it, I was in Chad, so I'm in Chad, so it was like, actually I think I saw it before I even came to Durham. I looked through all the societies and I saw drumming, and I was so excited because like that would make my life, and then I joined it immediately.
So how many people have lived or been to Africa before? One, 2, 3, 4. 4? 5?
If you haven't been to Africa, well, if you're from Africa, or if you haven't been to Africa or whatever, like, does African drumming kind of meet what your expectations would have been? Like, when you went to festival and you saw African drumming, and that attracted you because it was really exotic. Or however, whatever reason it attracted you for, has it lived up to that expectation?
I didn't encounter it like before coming here, like at different events and stuff. But when I heard of the society and they explained to me, I thought it was just going to be drumming.
Yeah.
And I was quite surprised to like come and it wasn't just drumming and it was largely singing. So initially I was a bit skeptical and I was like, I don't think I can really sing. But
I find it really stressful.
it's actually like great how I've got to sing.
I find it really like stressful, like really.
Yeah, so did I. I was really nervous
because I'd never sung in public like that.
Neither had I.
Yeah.
But I mean, one of the things I found was that at that point there was only one other bass, and he only came sporadically, and he didn't really sing. So I went.
Yeah, the one was doing
Oh yeah.
the one was doing magnetics or something.
Yeah, he's still here. He's been here like 8 years. But I was basically thrown into singing bass on my own, even at performances straight away. So I just like dealt with it fairly quickly.
You just got used to it. But
Yeah, I think that helped. Like,
But you must have felt a bit.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
to start with. and then over time, it's just been like, no.
There's this self-consciousness about singing that's there, but then suddenly it's the philosophy that I love. You know, make mistakes confidently, and then they stop being mistakes, and it suddenly works, and it just becomes a lot of fun.
But I think it's an interesting point about voice parts and the way they're sort of put together. Because I remember a point that Nadia once said to me about the altos was that there was a girl called Laura who she was one of the Chad's group, yeah, and she was a very loud and confident singer, and some of the others, or Nadia at least, said that she found that quite off-putting, and she struggled to sing, or just, well, what she told me once.
I believe you.
Struggled sort of, I don't know whether it was pitch it or just sort of sing confidently alongside that because the one voice was dominating it.
So I found the opposite because I sang alto at the beginning, and when Laura wasn't there, it was just impossible because you just couldn't pitch it.
And I felt, because I remember starting and that you would be singing bass, and that if you weren't there, I didn't have anyone to hide behind.
Yeah.
When I first came, Eve was like really, really good at like, because singing's a part, like it's really good when you first join to have someone to follow, like, and latch on to, because otherwise, like when you're in the group, because Peter goes through it really clearly, and then, but then it's like very difficult to pick up quickly because I mean, if none of us are really singers beforehand, it's really difficult to pick up the tune as quickly because, like, just playing by ear is quite difficult. So like, when we were singing, like I found that the fact that Eve knew it, I found that having someone in my part that knew it, that was able to sing it, I could latch on, and through repeating the song, I got the words from Peter, the initial tune from Peter, but then the solidifying of the learning was definitely through other people in my part that knew it, and I could kind of keep going and going and going with them. I found that I didn't necessarily learn it all with Peter. It was definitely through.
Possibly, like that's how the group works because we're not like a choir that recruits at the start of the year and then that's it. You're in or you're out. Which means that it's kind of like everyone's constantly learning from everyone else.
Yeah.
Which is quite special, really, because
no auditions, then people just come.
It's a lot less intimidating, and it's not, you know, in the sense that sure there is that sort of thing like, my God, I've never sung before, but it's not like we're this huge choir and audition for us and things. It's more just like come along and give it your best shot.
Because sometimes people ask me, can I just come and I can't sing, I can't play drums. Can I just come? No, feel free, just come.
Yeah. I all the time say to people, oh, you should come, it's really good fun. And
they're
like,
I
can't sing. It's like, nah, none of us can.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the point.
The only question we have left, really, because this has been great, it's just been exploring ideas about the group, but just as like general interest, how many people did you invite to the performance on Saturday?
750.
Okay,
did you actually invite?
That was not invitation. If you've done communication, that is not invitation. That's informing. Informed 750. But I invited 20, but 30 people came. Yeah, because to invite is whereby no communication, not bullet, not bullet communication. Sending the message and assuming everybody has heard and have understood.
This is like in no way judgmental. Like, oh, so you didn't invite many people? No, not that. It's just like out of interest because talking about the group and how like you want to have like fun when you perform. I wondered how many people would you like invite to just come and see that fun?
I always invite people that I like know as friends to come, but often they don't come.
What about the rest of you? Did you like tell your friends that it was on, or?
Yeah, I invited a few people in person and did the whole Facebook thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Facebook.
And the Facebook thing actually worked for one person who I wouldn't expect to come because I've never really spoken to him.
Oh,
really?
There we go. It was a him. It was a him.
Yeah.
Maybe he liked you. He's like, I'll come along, Eve.
Is that it can touch people that you didn't expect.
It
doesn't replace him.
Yeah, the problem with the Facebook. You know, the problem is just giving information. Like all the music students received the information, but did we see them? No, we didn't.
I begged people.
Yeah, but the people I invited, the people that I invited individually, so and so, so and so, so and so come, they came. Yeah. So when I give information, I know that's now accidental. I mean, anybody can come or cannot. But when I invited them, they'll even give me a feedback. No, I want to make it, or this or this that. Then you know it's just like they invite somebody to a wedding. You know, you give them a card, they tell you, no, I want to make it.
I agree with you that the sort of personal connections are strong because I invited my friend to come from Newcastle, and when she came, she put £5 in for the entrance pot, and I was like, "You only need to put in £2." She's like, "No, I've come from Newcastle to see you. I want to give you more." And it's always like the personal connection gives a stronger.
Yeah, Sophia lives with me, and 2 people from my house came because I'd obviously talked about it, and then
you changed it, and what other anthropologists
2 people
came?
from another house, but they're just friends. Yes. Then Sophia came along, and through seeing us, you came and you asked me afterwards, how can I join?
Aww.
Do I have to be able to sing? No.
And just on a quick side note, Sophia is, and apparently you are, publicity something with Platinum.
Sponsorship and
sponsorship,
publicity officer of Platinum Television.
Really?
Sophia was talking about having some sort of promotional thing with the group for our event.
In June.
It could be a promotion thing for us too, so it gives me to find something to film.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
We could get a little Palatinate TV segment
about African drumming.
About African drumming.
About
Korogocho, we could have.
But we should be also prepared. We are supposed to do a number of recordings.
Really?
Yeah.
Need to record. Some of the songs need to be recorded for different things. Some of them are for future, for practice.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Thank you.
Wait. At the Freshers' Fair, did you take drums and stuff down there, or have a playing of the music, or was it literally just a stand instead of drumming? Okay.
I've done it too. The first one we did, because there really weren't many of us in the group at that point. It was me who was president and Nadia who was vice president at that time. We just had we had a drum with us in the background, and I don't think we played it at any point though.
It was too
yeah, it was too bad. And it's a bit of a rubbish situation because we've been put with the international student societies rather than the music societies.
Oh,
I can see why they did it, but they shouldn't have because it didn't fit. Well,
where would you want to have been put? Where would you want to be put?
With music groups. We're a music group. We're not an identity-based group.
But we attract a lot of international students.
We do, but I think.
Oh yeah.
How many people are international students here?
Music primarily. In the first instance.
Who's international student? 2.
3.
I think
there was 3.
3.
4. There was 4.
4. Oh. You're what?
So putting it with the international. Okay, there we are placed to find. People don't expect music.
Yeah.
Or they don't even expect drama. They expect other things. Oh, you see, there's even somebody when you and Nadia were there. When Nadia was there, I had come.
Yeah, you were there from the.
Yeah, then somebody came and said, "You play drums." So I explained a few and they talked and they said you come for the. Because he wasn't expecting anything like music or drums. So, but if you were with the music stuff, then.
Yeah.
The problem wasn't so much that we were with the international student groups and we are not one of them. It was more that it was in a room that people weren't really going to go into unless they were an international student. Yeah. So it wasn't that great for us to get members to run.
Yeah.
But then this year we were with music groups and we ended up kind of jamming with the other society people there, like the folk society, and to some extent the rock society.
The rock society.
What?
I don't remember.
Yeah,
What
the
could
rock
you
society.
say?
I don't remember the criticisms.
I seem to have plotted it out of my memory. The folk society one was great fun.
Yeah.
And then the refreshers thing.
Where
Which
we
was great.
trying to play the radio.
Did you end up on the radio though?
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Papa really?
Something like it's good.
If we record something, we can send it to Papa and get them to play stuff.
Yeah, because
Good.
initially they used to have
Capital FM.
60 minutes around
Radio
and
1.
One time we went and did a show.
Really?
The 60 minutes, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and the girl who used to run that show used to be from St. John's Cuts. She used to do one show there. She called us. We went and did it, and
I'm thinking of Paige.
Oh.
Because Paige was like that. And
Yeah.
just got the musical whatever.
Lee.
Lee, yeah. That we would blend. Nice story.
And
Yeah, I think.
thank you very much
so much all
for taking part
we did
in
not clap. When people understand you,